Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Tonight, again, I want to talk to boys, and only boys, and whoever else likes to listen, but this is about boys again. You know, I've realized and know that many of you guys, especially at the age of 22, 3, mostly 25 and up, you seem to think that life is supposed to be exactly as perfect as you envisioned it while you were growing up. Because when you're growing up, you see the elders, you see the father, you see the mother, you see the others, you see movies, and you design this kind of you envision this kind of a certain kind of a perfect life for yourself. That, yeah, I'll grow up, I'll have this car, I'll have this house, I'll be looking like this, I'll be looking like that, I'll go here, this vacation, I'll have this kind of a girlfriend, this kind of a wife, or this kind of family, and you have this whole thing for yourself set up the way you like it. Then you think your whole worth and value and life and quality of life is only good if that what you envisioned falls together. And if there would be deviation of any kind to it, you will feel disappointed, saddened, can't understand why. Why is my life not perfect? Then you call it. You think and you call it. Why is my life not perfect? I want my life to be perfect. I want to be in control. And since something is now different than what I'm used to or what I was used to, whether it's the way my fitness level was, now it's not, or whether my look was, now it's not, whether my hairline was what it was, I had a beautiful hair, now it's changed, it's not as much, and I have to deal with it, or I have to, shave my head, or, do this or do that, something different. Or if you simply had a certain girlfriend and now you don't, or if you were hoping about a certain kind of an economic situation to come to fruition as soon as you expected it, as soon as you consider yourself mature and adult, and it didn't happen, and anything else that you envision and it's not happening with the speed or that you expected, or it's changed for some reason, one way or another, to whatever extent, you seem to think that means your life is not perfect. And that's because that's how you envisioned it to be perfect. The definition of perfect was what you thought and wanted and were used to it. And now suddenly you think the change, the difference, the motion, the wave is totality of your life. And therefore your life is not what you envisioned or were used to or expected it. Therefore it's not as happy as it should be, and you're affected. And therefore you think you're not in control. And you say, I want to be in control. Because in our youth, we think life is only if turns out to be exactly as we wanted it to be turned out. The girlfriend that I want, if that happens, great, I'm in control. If it doesn't happen, I'm not in control and I don't like it. That's not a perfect life, and and then you go on with it. The kind of job, the kind of money, the kind of car, all of that are criteria that you have set for yourself. And if it doesn't, then you feel you're not in control. It's not as it should have been. Therefore, something missing. Therefore, your quality of life is not what you wanted. Therefore, you're not in control, and you want to be in control. Therefore, it's not satisfactory, and it affects your mood and all that so forth. And you attribute the value and the happiness of your life depending on the things that you will acquire, or the way things would be as you envision them, including the girlfriend, including the car that you want to drive, including the money, including the kind of house or a place of residence you want to have, and your economic situation, your emotional, romantic situations, and your physical shape and look and so on and so forth. Like, the people think, oh, my nose is big, therefore I'm not as good looking, or my ears are big, or my eyes are not this way, or I look not as refined as someone that I've seen, or someone that I envisioned myself to be, or the way I wanted it to be. So all these seems to be playing a part in you feeling that your life quality is different or changed, or is not as it should be, or that you are or are not in control, depending on how things are going for you, physically, economically, financially, emotionally, all these outside elements, which you think they're the ones who call the shots for your life and bring you happiness. So your happiness is dependent on all the stuff outside, which that means you have left it to be hostage of what events of outside are being put together, which you are in no way in control. But you consider that going your way would be that you're in control, and not going your way, which is not supposed to, it's just outside things, you have no control of it, then that means you're not in control, you're sad. Instead of thinking that happiness must be independent of any condition or any achievement, physical, emotional, financial, or any otherwise, it should be independent of all of it. Happiness should be depending on very simple things: breathing, eating some food, having a place to sleep. That's it. Reasonable health, eating, drinking water, and a place to be safe and reside. And sleeping, of course. Resting. Happiness should be dependent on nothing but you. Nothing dependent from outside, only you from inside, which is the simplest thing to gain in life if you have the basics. And therefore, because it's not dependent on anything outside, we are also always in control of it. But let me shortly touch on the word control and what it means to me. Often many of you think control is if things go the way you want it to go. We just talked about it: money, girlfriend, emotion, looks, this, that, hair, nose, eyes, the way my body looks, fits, and how, this and that, this way and that way I have. Physical things. But remember, we cannot expect to be able to control the events of our lives. They're outside. They're independent of us or our control. That is not control, because that's a natural way of things happening out there. Somebody loses his leg, somebody loses a hand, or loses an eye or ear, or somebody loses an organ, or somebody, gets some kind of a sickness or paralyzed. Many different things beside all the other things of economic situations, emotional situations, the girlfriend leaving, this and that. So these are things that it is not in our control. It's an event outside. It has nothing to do with me being able to call it that I'm in control of my life or not. I cannot be in control of all these things that are happening in life. So what is control? Control is not what we just talked about. Control means none of these events, no matter what it is that happens in your life, can control you and your mood and your happiness and your ambitions and your drive to succeed and your drive to accomplish and your drive to make something out of yourself and meet your goals. That is what control means. Control is not to stop the oceans from its waves going up and down. Control is when the waves come, you can keep your boat balanced and from being capsized. That's control. You cannot stop the waves of the ocean. Nobody can. You cannot expect to say, I'm in control only if I can stop the waves of the ocean. If I can stop the events and happenings of life, then I'm in control. No. Control is when the wave of the ocean comes, you are fit enough, wise enough, smart enough that you can control your boat not to be capsized and stay balanced and flow with it up and down and keep its balance from falling into the ocean, from capsizing. So not being affected by the events of life, negative or positive, to a degree that it would be detrimental to your well-being and your balance, that's control. Otherwise, no one can ever stop or control the events of life. So control is not to shape how things would be for you the way you like it. Control is when you are not affected and controlled by when the events of life, the waves of the ocean, comes about, and you're still able to be keeping your balance of your boat and ride with the wave and not be drowned. That's called control. I wish you will have a wonderful day or evening. Think about what I said and enjoy every moment of your life, and your happiness must be unconditional, unrelated, and independent to any event that happens in life. More power to you. May the force be with you. Talk to you soon.